Hello, dear friends. We all know it, but it is good to explain what is happening. Opinion piece, breakaway society, loss of trust, political polarization, divi- divided we awake, deep social change, breakdown of social fabric, resistance and fear of change, corruption of institutions. Let's start. We are heading towards a society that is separating or distancing itself from setting values, norms, or previously established structures, as humanity is experiencing significant changes in cultural values, social norms, or traditional structures. The so called breakaway society is moving towards new forms of organization and thinking, breaking with the old models. The term breakaway means rupture, separation, fragmentation, decomposition, disunity, split, etc. That is, it refers to something that separates or breaks with the main group. In some cases, it could be used to describe a partnership or group that is separated from a larger or established entity. For example, in the political realm, it could refer to a group that breaks away from an existing country to form its own nation. Rapid social and cultural transformation can generate resistance and fear of change, leading to fragmentation between those who embrace change and those who reject it. There is also a perception that society is fragmenting or dividing into smaller groups with different identities and goals. Political or economic changes are occurring that are leading to the formation of new realities. Division. The fragmentation or decomposition of a society can be due to corruption of institutions that can undermine the population's confidence in the system and generate discontent. When social and legal institutions are not perceived as fair and equitable, trust in the system is eroded, and this can lead to a lack of social cohesion and fragmentation. Economic difficulties such as recession and high unemployment can generate social tensions by increasing competition for limited resources and decreasing quality of life. The gap between rich and poor can generate resentment and frustration in society, as well as tensions based on ethnic, cultural, or religious differences. Extreme polarization in political opinions can divide society into opposing groups, making cooperation and constructive dialogue difficult. Lack of effective communication and inability to understand others' perspectives can fuel misunderstandings and conflicts in society. Definition. A social change is an elevation of social structures linked to norms, values, and market products. Social change manifests itself in different ways, in different aspects of social life, and it is the visible or perceptible expression of mutation processes of very different nature, modifications in the conception of the world, biological, demographic, institutional changes, etc. The term society designates a particular type of grouping of individuals that occurs both among human beings and among some animals. In both cases, the relationships established between individuals imply a certain degree of communication and cooperation, which at a higher level can be described as culture. A society can also consist of like minded people governed by their own norms and values within a larger dominant society. This is called subculture. Societies build patterns of behavior called social norms. Societies and their norms undergo gradual and perpetual changes. To the extent that it is collaborative, a society can allow its members to benefit in ways that would otherwise be difficult individually. Breaking news. The White Hats have supposedly announced that a very important event would take place before the start of a new year on December 31st, 2023. Seeing is believing. Donald Trump files an appeal claiming presidential immunity for accusations about 2020 election. The Italian defense minister warns that the situation in the Red Sea can cause an economic crisis. France is on track to lose its colonial strongholds in the Sahel. Milei affirms that Elon Musk is very interested in lithium from Argentina. Milei will cancel all hiring of public employees this year. Economy. This is the year of gold, according to Gerald Celente. Credit card spending accumulates as saving decreases. Wall Street expects a soft landing in 2024, but, but stocks won't soar. Xi Jinping challenges petrodollar dominance in historic deal with Saudi Arabia. Big capital is starting to enter the gold sector, according to Alasdair MacLeod. According to MacLeod, central banks are responsible for mismanaging the economy by cutting interest rates to zero, and in some cases to a naturally negative number, and then flooding financial systems with currency equivalent credit from the nowhere, followed by rapidly rising interest rates in an attempt to curb. As a result, central banks have ruined themselves and much of their economies. This opens the debate between the free banking without central banks and the gold standard versus the fiat currency system that gives central banks the power of devaluation. Commercial banking without central bank is the historical norm, and the evils of static monetary management are a more recent phenomenon. Curious. According to Anna von Reis, one of the frauds used against living people is based on the fact that their legal name or land resembles their legal name at sea in a national jurisdiction. It is easy to confuse one with the other, or pass one off as the other. Large sunspot on the far side of the sun, which is affecting the way the sun vibrates. The active region is a week away from turning towards the Earth side of the sun. The solar storm that occurred last Thursday, December 14th, was the most powerful solar flare since September 2017. Much of the negative energy this month can be explained because Mercury was retrograde on December 13th in conjunction with fixed stars, explain unpleasant words and arguments, and the Sun square Neptune on December 16th explained the suspicion and paranoia. Sumerian chants. This ancient music moves my insides and even brings tear of emotion to my eyes. Peter Pringle has rescued these songs from clay tablets written in cuneiform characters. He has replicated the golden harp found in one of the tombs, among other instruments such as the Megiddo harp. He is a true genius. The epic of Gilgamesh, or Gilgamesh's lament for the giant Enkidu, is my own lament. They are the oldest songs in the world and are part of our DNA, like the seduction of the goddess Inanna. Cosmic Elucidations of the Current Era by Bennett Ross. We assist in the 3D construction, which is a very emotional adventure, and our emotions bring experiences that coincide with our vibration. At other times, we increase our frequency and access the 5D construct to create a dissolved manifestations. And dissolve, I mean. In the 5D perspective, we understand our innate abilities. When you feel so aligned and so pure that you never want to leave that state is when you know you have moved into higher frequency bands. Many are not advanced enough to remain there permanently, so they oscillate between dimensions until they become fully proficient in maintaining the higher frequency states. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.